Welcome to Cooking at Rajbhog Studios. Our goal is to educate the consumer on foods, ingredients, culture, and health. Through a fun, appetite-pleasing hobby, we'll explore the world of food and learn how different ingredients can play a vital role in your well-being. So, take up a new hobby. This is our inaugural session to start cooking classes at Rajbhog Studios. If you like this series, please hit the like button and subscribe to the station for more videos. Welcome. In this session, we'll explore peppers, how to marinate and preserve peppers, and make various sauces, salsas, and achars. Our special guest today is Al. He's a connoisseur of peppers, and he's an avid gardener. Take it away, Al.
Thanks. All right, great. So below here are the ingredients we're going to use to make the jalapeno-based hot sauce. I've got one poblano pepper, about a pound of jalapeno peppers, one large red onion, a big chunk of ginger, some turmeric, some cardamom seeds, some cloves, some garlic, and a little bit of vinegar, which I may not put in the initial brine, but it's typically used for at the blend stage.
So most of these items we're already sourcing right from Rajbhog Market.
We are.
Some of the peppers we can find at a local grocery store.
Absolutely.
Right.
That's the beauty of this.
Yep.
Exactly. You can find the jalapenos at your local market. Poblanos are fairly common these days. All these ingredients you typically can find, but at Rajbhog you can find the great turmeric and ginger and cardamom, and cloves, and all the great Indian spices.
Okay.
All right, so I'm chopping up some jalapenos, and there's a poblano that's been chopped up. I know it's supposed to put my knuckles backwards like that, but I typically hack away at things.
So you used one poblano pepper?
One poblano pepper and a pound of jalapenos is what I got here, pepper-wise. You could change that up. Depends on what you want to do with it. You could throw in a green pepper. You could throw in carrots into this if you like to sweeten it up. Maybe we'll do that. But yeah, that's pretty much the recipe for a jalapeno-based hot sauce.
Have you ever used peppers like Virginia Veer or some of the really, really spicy varieties out there?
Yeah, I grew a bunch of crazy ones this year, some Scotch bonnets and some things like that, but they were really, really hot, and I just, I don't know, didn't enjoy them as much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's some people out there that obviously love the super hot ones, like the Carolina Reapers, and there's a couple ones from India, speaking of which, that are some super hot ones, but Buchalokias, of course, yeah,
Ghost pepper,
which is the ghost pepper. Yeah, American name. Yeah, I should know that. Okay, so you're looking at the ingredients for the jalapeno-based hot sauce. I've got chopped up poblano, again a pound of jalapenos, a good chunk of ginger, a garlic. Some cloves are going to go in, some cardamom's going to go in, some red onion, some carrot, 2 carrots, and some turmeric. And on that note, why don't we talk a little about turmeric?
Yeah, nowadays you go to large, retailers or the box retailers, and in the stores, in American stores, you're going to find some products that are turmeric based or turmeric in its pure form.
Sure.
And what's interesting is that Indians, Pakistanis, and South Asians have been using turmeric for thousands of years, right? I know growing up, if I got a cut, if I was playing in the yard or something and I got a cut, my mom would take turmeric powder and apply it right to the cut.
It's amazing.
And that turmeric would actually act as an antiseptic.
Yeah.
It would coagulate the blood, and before long, you're going back to your nice healed up skin again.
It's great.
But turmeric has a lot of benefits, not only for the outside of your body, but also a lot of benefits for the inside as well.
Yeah, yeah. That's the interesting thing about this specific sauce. It's really good for you. So there's nothing bad in it. So again, people that enjoy hot sauces, they may not even know that most of the stuff they're eating is pretty good for them, as long as there's not a lot of sugars and bad stuff in it. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to load this ferment jar right here with some onion, and some ginger, and I'm going to go in with some peppers, just kind of mixing it up. There's some carrot, there's some more onion.
Do you have to put it in any particular order, Al?
No, it's completely random. It doesn't matter. As long as it's under the brine, it's good to go. As long as it's being fermented, you're fine. I'm not going to put in a whole bunch of cardamom, but I like about, 4 or 5 cardamom seeds based upon this volume. There's our turmeric. Just kind of splash that in there. I like to put in a good 2 or 3 cloves, and we'll post the ingredients to the actual video. That'll be a good idea. And the rest I'm just going to pile in here with our peppers. So yeah, looks pretty. Usually it comes out pretty. You can push these down. They make devices for that, but I don't have one on hand. But you can push these. That's one reason to wear gloves, because when you're pushing this stuff down like this, the capsicum oils and the peppers can strike your skin, and it's never a pretty scene, and I've learned firsthand. I do like this multiple video shot here because it shows me what I'm doing at the same time here. It's pretty awesome. So smushing that all down in there, that's perfectly fine. The brine will cover most of this.
And that glass is, or rather the jar is made out of glass, right?
Yeah, the jar's made out of glass, so you really get some freedom with this. Usually, like, if I have a clean glass, I'll use the end of the glass to push this down in here like this.
Just have to be careful you don't accidentally push so hard that it breaks the jar.
Sure. Yeah, I'm not pushing that hard. I'm just giving it pressure, so this is just smushed down.
Right.
I could have cut up the peppers and the carrots and the onion a lot more and given some more room in here. But as you can see, I can turn this sideways, or I can bring it over here to this view. Everything fits in there snugly, which is what you want. This thing has a snap to it, so it'll tighten it very nicely, like most ferment jars have. And what I'm going to do now is I have about 5 cups of water here. And for each cup of water, I give a tablespoon of salt. Don't use iodized salt, use sea salt, like this. Iodized salt won't do the trick. It will not ferment your vegetables well, or at all, I think. And I just know to use sea salt. So typically, I'm using 1 tablespoon per 1 cup of water. We're kind of judging this, and it's more of an art than a science. But typically you would do 3% salt to the volume of your water. That's the general ratio. So in this instance, 1 tablespoon of salt per cup of water.
Now we also, in the Rajbhog market, we also sell Himalayan salt.
You could use Himalayan salt.
How would that taste the flavor of the salsa?
I don't know. Pick Himalayan salt's pretty good. It's that's about a tablespoon there. 1.
It has that rock salt consistency, right?
Yep, 3. The Himalayan salt would be pretty good. I've heard of people using it. As long as it's real. I know there's some imitation ones out there, and that's never good. But the Himalayan salt's great. I just never used it because it can be pricey depending on where you get it, but it's pretty good stuff. That was 3, 4. That's about 4. And typically, with making this brine water, it should probably be warmed up, it makes the salt dissolve easier. But in this instance, I'm just gonna go through the trial and error of stirring it up, making sure it's completely dissolved. Yeah, you're wasting your hard drive now. Let me stir this up. This part I wanted to warn you. Okay, our sea salt has been dissolved, and I am going to pour this into our ferment jar, and the brine is going to cover up all of our vegetables. You have to make sure of that. And there we go, it's pretty good. Now, these components here are your weight that will push down all your vegetables inside of your ferment jar. Looks typically like that. They can be glass, sometimes they're ceramic. This has been sprayed. We use star sand to sanitize this so that no bad bacteria, mold grows within your ferment jar. You don't want that at all. Mold is bad. So in this instance, I'm going to, whoop, this may spill over a little bit, and that's all right. But this gets pushed down so that the brine, oops, there might be too many peppers in there. Sometimes this happens. Take a few out.
Save those for the salad.
Yeah, exactly. And something like that. And the water's there over top, or the brine's over top of everything. And then what you do is you shut this up and you snap this, and it's snug and tight in there. And it's going to ferment over a period of 1.5 months. But one of the things that you need to make sure to do is insert your bubbler here, and there needs to be water inside here, or you could use vodka or something like that. That's keep any form of the baddies out of your bubbler. So I'm going to get some water here. Oops. And then what we do is we insert this bubbler into the ferment jar. And it's in there so that any of the oxygen that escapes during the fermentation phase, and there will be oxygen coming out of here, it will escape through the bubbler so that your ferment jar doesn't explode. Now, if you don't want to use a bubbler or some sort of mechanism that has an escape area for air, you could easily just burp your fermentation on a daily or every other day basis. But if you don't do that, the chances of these things exploding is highly likely. So that's snapped. That's in, that's tight. And there you go. Oops. There you have it.
That's the end product.
Come up. Yep. There
So
it is.
now, with this jar, how long do we have to store it and wait?
Yep. So anywhere between 1.5 to 2 months, I typically wait. You can go 1 month. You can go, 3 weeks. It just depends on how, tasty you want your ingredients. I wouldn't go longer than 3 months. I mean, that's my personal taste. I know some people do it for years, and that just seems a little crazy to me. So, but this 1.5 months, and you got yourself a tasty jalapeno, slightly poblano based hot sauce. Yep. Hi guys. So this is a ferment that's been going on for about 1.5 months. It's got a variety of vegetables in there, white onion, some Fresno peppers, some Inglehot's peppers, which is actually cultivated by the Amish in Pennsylvania, some cilantro, some garlic, some ginger, some cardamom, some cumin, etc. Should be pretty spicy, and I'm going to actually dump this out of this ferment jar and start making the hot sauce. Okay, so this is the Ferment jar full of all the good peppers and veggies, and I'm going to empty this into this strainer. I'm going to take out the bubbler here at the top, which is always a challenge. And there's your weight, which keeps down the vegetables and your brine steady. And I'm going to empty this. And sometimes it sticks in there. And the brine is going into a bowl below the strainer. And there goes what was fermented over the last 1.5 months. And it smells wonderful. And this is going to get blended up into our Vitamix here. And below here, you got your brine. And about half of that will go into the Vitamix as well as part of the hot sauce. Okay, so I'm going to take these vegetables that came out of our Ferment jar. I'm just going to use my hands here. I'm going to put them into the Vitamix. Got a nice blend of Fresnos, again, Hinkle Hots, cilantro, ginger, onion, garlic. Try to get rid of as many seeds as possible here, but the reality is Vitamix machines will pulverize most of this.
Al, with your gloves, how dangerous can these peppers be? Are gloves recommended?
It's a very good point, Rakesh. Yeah, gloves are recommended because if you're using anything above a jalapeno, and even jalapenos can be spicy, you can burn your hands. Yeah, it's a capsicum and peppers that can really terrorize your skin.
We don't want that.
Yeah, no, it's a good point. And so I'm gonna remove the strainer, and here's what's left of the brine. I kind of it's more of an art than a science to me. A lot of the brine I removed pre-recording because I didn't want to spill it everywhere. So there goes your mix of peppers and part of your brine. That should be measured out, but in this instance, I'm gonna just kind of zhuzh it, and I know it's gonna come out okay based upon just eyeballing it. So, let's shut this. That on. It smells great.
How long do you have to pulverize it?
Yeah, I was gonna say, give it about a minute. It just usually depends on what you're using, whether it's using a lot of carrots, it can be a little harder. But usually the brine breaks it down to where it's pretty soft. If you have a lot of cardamom seeds in there, or big chunks of garlic, you gotta really chop it up. This thing's really kicking nuts, much better than my other machine at home. So
looks like you gotta set at medium speed for about a minute.
about a medium speed in a minute. Yeah, I'm not familiar with this exact machine, but it's doing a really good job. So I'm gonna look at this now. It looks like it's done the job. And actually, we can taste this if you like. It's pulverized pretty well. Want to taste this, Rakesh?
Sure.
I'll put some on my glove.
Oh my god.
Spicy.
It's really coming out, yeah.
Yeah, it's spicy. Woo! That is spicy. Now, typically, in this instance, I would add probably about a cup of vinegar or a fruit. I mean, you could put mango in this, or you could put apples in this, or you could put pears in this to give it a sweeter taste. I like to put sometimes maple syrup in mine, or an Indian version of sugar jaggery, which is a pure type of sugar. That's excellent in these.
Is there a danger, though, of putting jaggery inside of a fermenting jar?
Yeah, you wouldn't want to do that. You wouldn't want to ferment the fruit beforehand. I typically don't because it can produce alcohol. And sugar and all that, you don't want to put that in pre-ferment. That's more added during the blending phase. It's a good question. So at this point in time, we could add those ingredients, but what I wanted to do was illustrate how the ferment, it goes from the end ferment to the blending phase. And then so at this point in time, I mean, I could show you this up close here, what it looks like, or even over here. Whoops, there we go. And you basically have a nice thick hot sauce. You could strain this additionally if you wanted to, and make it a lot thinner. And then you're left with a mash in the strainer. But my particular liking is to keep it a little bit thicker. I don't like to waste any products. It seems like a waste to me, and I don't have any plans for the mash. So I can give you an up close view of that. It's kind of like a thick hot sauce. Yeah,
That's some great color on that.
Oh, it's the Fresnos and the onions and the carrots. Especially the carrot gives it a really nice tinge. So yeah. I mean, you could at this point in time add in any kind of spices you wanted to be honest
Are
with you.
there certain peppers or vegetables that you look forward to for their health benefits?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, ginger's great for you, garlic's great for you. You and I were talking about Ayurvedic stuff, if I pronounce that correctly. Turmeric. You can offset the bitterness of the turmeric with, I guess, some sort of sweet substance. But yeah, that's an interesting way to do it. And this stuff's good for you. I mean, don't let anybody tell you differently. Hot sauce, especially this thick stuff, is really good for your stomach. Yeah. Okay, what I have here is a pH meter. One of the things I forgot to mention, and I am going to test our sauce to make sure that the pH is between about 3.2 and 3.6, so that it's shelf stable. And I think it is because this is fermented close to 1.5 months. So these things are pretty affordable. I'm gonna just put it right into my sauce.
Where can I pick one of these up, Al?
Yeah, exactly. It's at Amazon has these galore. You can just look for pH meter. Don't pay too much. Pay anywhere between like $30 and $50. Don't get the expensive ones. This pH is at about 3.3, 3.9. And I don't know if I can show the camera here. Yeah, I can. Let me turn it that way. And it was about 3.3 right there. And that's perfect. That's absolutely perfect. It's exactly what you want. This will be shelf stable. You can bottle it if you like. You know, if you're planning on eating this within a month or so, you can put it in a jar, put it in your refrigerator, and you'd be fine. If you're planning on bottling it and you want to put it on your shelf for a longer period of time, you want to pasteurize it, so you want to cook it up to 165 degrees Fahrenheit, and making sure that, again, it's pasteurized and that all the bad bacteria is gone, killed. Otherwise, your bottles could explode on you, and you don't want that. That's happened many times.
So with this meter, if I don't have it right now, but I still want to make the salsa, right? I still want to make the ferment. Are there techniques that I can use to get a general sense of where that pH might be?
Yeah, I mean, if it's pretty, acidic, it is. You can obviously add more acidic substances to the overall blend. Vinegar would do that. That's a typical way of doing it. So if I add a cup of vinegar to this, it's going to be even more acidic. It's probably going to bring down the pH to about 3 to even less than that. And that may be a little bit too acidic for people. But again, it just depends on the concentration. All right, so I had some of this. It's really spicy. You can tell by my voice, but this is a point in time where I'm going to take this and put it into a mason jar. Vitamixes are so nice because they pour right in. We could cook it down to make it more shelf stable, but this is fine to use within the next month to bring it over here, to a month and a half, as long as you use it and keep it refrigerated. So, yeah.
Okay, well there you have it, folks. Al, I want to thank you for joining us, being our special guest, and taking us through the process of marinating peppers. For the audience at home, if you like this, remember, like and subscribe, and we'll bring more videos to you. Thank you.